We asked what you thought, and this is what you said.
I do not believe the new leader of North Korea. I believe he will be worse than his predecessor, and he'll be more inclined to military action.
We should not tolerate this. There should be an end to it. They're merely proving that they are not part of the civilized world.
I had no idea that those people were so horribly treated. It just makes my heart ache. Let's get that word out to everybody.
Call us, email us, tweet, or Facebook us to join the conversation. We want to hear from you.
Elio Madonia is a successful entrepreneur who brought Brio Cola and super pasteurized coffee creamer to Canada. But Elio says his biggest achievements have come in his 70s and 80s because of his retirement choices. Through his Samaritan Foundation, he's built over 1,000 homes for the poor in the Dominican Republic, 6 schools, 12 churches, and we tracked down Elio and his wife Lena in the Dominican. Elio, is this what you thought you'd be doing in retirement?
Usually you associate retirement with taking it easy, playing shuffleboard or playing golf or going fishing. But, you know, it's so much more fun doing what we're doing it for people, not for money. Seeing the smiles and receiving the embraces and the thanks of people because they never hoped to get a home of their own and now they have one. So it's still retirement. It's still retirement. It's not shuffleboard and it's not the beach because it is working and enjoying it. You
began retirement at 60 the way a lot of seniors do. You went to a beach, a Dominican Republic resort, but you took a wrong turn. What happened?
At one point, we went for a walk, and we just happened to make the wrong turn. And instead of going in the asphalt road, we went into a rough road, and we ended up in the lowest level right near the ocean, where there was a village of very poor, desperately poor people living in conditions that are not fit for animals. We saw children playing on the street naked, open sewers, conditions that we had never seen to that degree. I became embittered in my heart to see how God would allow these people to live in such terrible condition. So I kept on saying, Lord, why do you do this? Why you are able to take care of these people that are your children? Why don't you do something for them? And the answer came in a way that I cannot describe. You can afford to do it too. Why don't you take care of them? And so I decided, well, God knows exactly where my finances are. Yes, I can afford to do it. So I decided to build a village with 25 homes and turn it over to 25 families that we had visited in that day.
Did you ever say, I'm working too hard in my retirement?
As a matter of fact, every time we completed a village, I thought, well, that's enough. I mean, I've done all I can. It's time to retire. But it didn't work that way because people that had heard about what we were doing decided to join us. And as we were receiving more funds, we couldn't abandon the work, so we kept on building. And we're still in the same situation. We would like to retire, but it's impossible. The work is there, people are there, the needs are there, and there are people willing to help us. So we're here, and we keep on doing the best we can.
Elio, you folks are 83 and 85. Are people making the most of their retirement?
One of the greatest losses, one of the greatest waste is all the talent, all the connections, all the wisdom acquired by people during their lifetime, and now they reach a certain stage when they are at the peak of their ability and they retire. And all that has been learned by experience and by all kinds of activities could be used now to help those who are less fortunate, but it's wasted in the golf courses of this world and in the beaches of this world. There is so many organizations desperately looking for volunteers, for people who will give their time, their money, and they don't have enough. Our organization here could use right now a bookkeeper, somebody who could take care of our books. It could be a mission, somebody that could come here, enjoy the beauty of this country, and at the same time serve the people of this country.
How should people prepare for their retirement, Elio?
You can't just think, I'm going to spend all these years doing nothing, because you would be bored to death. So as part of the planning, plan that once you are able to retire, you want to do something positive, significant, that will change the nation of Canada and will change many people and many nations across the world. If I were to concentrate on all the ailments that are in my body, I would probably not do anything. But if I concentrate in doing things that are so important and so useful and they bless so many people, I forget about my ailments. Now, as far as people who cannot afford it financially and otherwise, there are things that can be done right there in Toronto, right there in Canada. They can volunteer.
Elio, you have championed the idea that you need to do your retirement with God. How do you do that?
Each person should be seeking to know what is God's plan for their life. And they should not wait until they're retired to do that. Throughout their lifetime, there are opportunities to seek the mind of God in prayer, in meditation, talking to other people. And once you know what God would want you to do, start doing right then and there, and He will reveal from day to day what is His plan for you.
Elio, do you have any regrets about approaching retirement this way?
Don't feel sorry for somebody like me spending his 25 years in the Dominican Republic, because in so doing, I'm having the greatest fun of my life, the greatest satisfaction. My life is a meaningful life, even more so than it could have been if I was enjoying my retirement in Florida, where I originally planned to stay.
Thank you, Elio and Lena. We have got your kids in the audience now. They're in the front row here. Lucy, let's start with you. How has your mom and dad's approach to retirement impacted you?
Well, I can say it's been transformational, inspirational, and it's funny, but I would answer the question with all the stuff that my dad's been saying. It must have changed my life, because that would be what I would say. I'd say that they have spent their retirement just as an extension of their life. So they raised a family of 8 children and businesses and involvement in church and helping others. And then they get to their retirement and you think, well, now it's time to sit around and maybe chew the cud a little bit and enjoy all the fruits of your labors. Instead, they turn around and show us what living really is by giving. And so it's not like they started giving when they retired at 60. We saw a lifetime full of that.
Wow, and I asked your mom about missing all of you guys, and she just says, I can talk to you guys on Skype every day. Pass it down to Phil there. I'm just curious how their version of retirement has impacted you.
Well, obviously, it's made us very proud, but in a way, it's taken a lot of responsibility off of our shoulders. A lot of people are taking care of their parents when they're in their 70s and 80s, and here it is, my parents are taking care of other people, and you know, we're just watching them and we're amazed, and you know, we kind of wish them the best. We miss them a lot at times, but like my mom says, we can turn on the iPad and say hello. And
they told me you guys coaxed and coaxed them to get into the computer age, and he resisted it, and he just has jumped in, eh? Yeah, it was his idea to connect with us on Skype, and I thought, yeah, there he is, 83, telling me, get on your Skype. All right, thank you very much. Well, up next, my thoughts on the virtues of aging well.